The thing that I wanted to start with was with the May 15th letter from Secretary Spellings that Corey was alluding to. This letter has strong emphasis, a very strong tone about compliance in the areas of school choice and SES. For those in the room, I want to let you know that when I say SES, those are supplementary educational services that have to be provided when you're in stage 2 or above. And when I created this presentation, I was not fully aware that it was just going to be stage 1, potential stage 1 attendees. So for your, I left it in here. You can read about it, because if you're going to stage 2, you will have to implement SES. So before I get started on all this, I want to let you know that there is money involved. There is some funding for you. Beginning this year, you will be able to apply if you are, if you still are becoming a school that's in need of improvement. You will be able to apply in an electronic application through e-grants. You'll need a user name and password. The application itself will be available September the 1st, and the application deadline is October 17th at 5 p.m. So people that work like I do at midnight, it's not going to work for you. They close it down at 5 p.m. Districts do get to apply on behalf of the SIP campuses, and districts who have multiple campuses in school improvement must submit multiple applications. The campuses that are eligible to receive SIP money are campuses that are Title I served. It must be a Title I served campus. And also the application is campus-based, and it is also a campus allocation. Because it is campus-based, because it is a campus allocation, that money is for the campus. And as long as your committee can adhere to several things, such as those things were identified and it needs improvement, any items that you feel you need to improve your campus, they are listed in the campus improvement plan, and your administrator, whoever blesses it, whether it's the superintendent, the school board, and they say it's okay, it's an allowable cost, you can buy those things that you need for your campus. And so it's additional funding. It's additional to the Title I funds that you receive. It's a supplementary funding to improve your campus. Stage 1 campuses will receive an allocation of $25,000, and we will prepay the cost of the required campus Administrators Mentoring Program, which is CAMP. And Sally from CERT, the School Improvement Resource Center, will discuss that program with you. The Stage 1 campus principals are required to participate in that CAMP program. This is something new that we have started this year based on research. We felt that this was a good way to go. If you hear that things were different, they were, and if you have a neighboring campus that says, well, that's now, we're allocated more money than $25,000, it's because stage 2 or above, their allocations are based on a per pupil. It's a weighted allocation, meaning that if you were in school improvement for reading, that carries some weight. If you're in for reading and math, that's more. Reading, math, and attendance, that's more. So if once you hit stage 2 or above, then your allocations change. It's a formula. But for stage 1, it's $25,000. There are specific things that are required when you apply for these funds. I just want to give you a heads up. You can go to our website and look at the application for last year and the instructions. And it's basically pretty much the same. There's a little bit of differences that we're going to have to include because of what we've learned lately, but the application will look pretty much the same. In there, we ask you to describe your comprehensive needs assessment, to describe the needs that were identified based on that assessment. We ask you to describe your system of reform. What are you going to be doing to change and improve your campus? And more importantly, we also ask you to submit the parent notification letter. And this year, this letter can be faxed or it can be attached to the application. You're also required to attend SIP orientation sessions, which they hold. They will notify you of those. And they also host a best practice conference that you are required to attend. Okay, we're back to the letter, the famous letter. Well, I already started with it, and I said these were her points. In this letter, Secretary Spelling addressed the implementation so far of private school choice and SES, her expectations, the enforcement, and the state action and assistance that is going to be required from us. I will use the words USDE for U.S. Department of Education and the feds, however, as I speak. They're one and the same for me. When we got this letter, I took it on vacation, and I'll just read it when I get over there. When I read it, I was like what we call a chismosa. I was going, oh my gosh, I was calling everybody, did you read the letter? Did you read the letter? It's quite forceful, and she wants us to take this very seriously. Not that we don't, but this letter has impacted every state across the nation. And the last days that we met with USDE, this was a big discussion, her letter. For implementation, and they have every reason to be concerned. Public school choice and SES they feel are critical, and and it is critical to the students' academic success. And yet, for the several past years, participation has been unacceptably low. In 2003 to 2004, only 17% of eligible students participated in SES, and only 1% in public school choice. Now, I can't see very many eyes rolling, but I rolled my eyes because when I spoke with USDE this past week, I explained to one of their policy advisors on school choice, and I said, I feel like we're going to be penalized because our numbers are so low for school choice. And I said, and yet, if I'm a parent and I get the parent notification in the form that is expressed in statute, and I do get this letter and it tells me, okay, the campus is in need of improvement, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to make these changes. We're receiving supplemental money to improve our campus. Our teachers are going to attend professional development to better learn how to instruct our students in this area. And we're going to involve you in the process. You're going to have a say in the changes that are made. And I get all these good news, but if you'd like to, you can also change schools and attend this other school. I said, if as a parent I make the choice to stay, that is true parent involvement. That is, I'm making my choices, and I have my options before me. So if our numbers are low, then we're still going to be penalized for something parents chose, and that's what we wanted them to do. And she explained to me that at this point, most of our audit, findings, where we would be in trouble, and when I'm in trouble, you're in trouble. Let's put it that way. When we're all in trouble, is if we did not send all the information home for parents to be able to make a well-informed choice. So in this coming year, our unit is going to be spending more time on did we send the information? And then from there, when we get the data, which you do report to us how many of them, how many parents selected school choice, how many students, then we'll work with that data. But the most important thing is, did parents get the information? In the implementation, they also found out that the majority of the parents were notified after the school year began. I'd like to say that in the state of Texas last year, we collected all the letters, and I had 2 files, one in compliance, out of compliance, because the letters were dated after the uniform school start date. And again, for us, this year will be August 25th. However, I am not naive to know that I had some embarrassing moments. Parents would call me and say, I understand through the media or from my neighbor or somewhere that I was supposed to have school choice and I didn't get school choice. And I'll say, well, let me investigate that. So I'd call the district, and yes, the letters are dated, you know. Last year it was August 21st, and it's October, and the letters have not been sent. But they did send me the letter with the application. You know, when you are saying that you date your letters, you send your letters on the correct date, because that is auditable. And we do get calls from parents that are concerned that they weren't notified. In some cases, states did not provide LEAs with timely AYP data. I want you to know that the agency is working diligently at providing the data as timely as we can. I know that people that were with us 2-3 years ago, it was almost a nightmare. You know, we gave some districts 3 days. In less than 2 weeks, we had to have everything ready. We have worked and have moved forward with providing you in a timely fashion. And that is why we went forth in April and said, be prepared. Because we're going to find out, then you can work with that. Several states did not ensure that the LEAs include all the required information in notices to parents. I think we're very safe in not that we are providing the information to parents, but that we're requesting it from you. So therefore, we have that safety net that we can call you and say, it's not all in here. Could you please provide the parents the additional information they need? The Department of Inspector General also conducted a series of 6 audits that revealed significant findings on state and LEA implementation of school choice and SES provisions. The audit found that each of the 6 states, can I say we want one of them? Were failed to monitor adequately that the LEAs were in compliance. That, of course, that the parent notifications letters that they reviewed did not have all the required elements of the law. Statute is very clear about what should be in those letters. They also found out that multiple LEAs did not offer eligible parents the option to transfer their children or to participate in SES. And very important, they also found out that LEAs allowed students to transfer to ineligible schools, choice schools. When you send us a letter, a copy of the notification, and you say you are eligible to transfer to Villarreal Elementary and Govea Elementary, we immediately get on our list and make sure those 2 campuses are not in school improvement. Because you probably don't believe this, but we don't have them memorized. But we look it up and we make sure. And we found, you know, it's just error. We found a few in the course of the year. Late notification is a big issue, and also that LEAs fail to budget sufficient funding for services, or did not notify parents of all the options available to them. Let parents know what are their options. Secretary Spellings was very, very clear about what her expectations are, what's the expectation. And the expectation is that we're to notify parents in a timely manner. For us, it is prior to August 25th. Clear, unbiased, and it contains all the information. That the LEA is to set aside an amount equal to 20% of their Title I Part A, that's a big allocation, for choice-related transportation and SES. And to spend that amount unless a lesser demand for services does not require. You are to set aside that amount. If by spring you realize that you're not going to have to meet that amount or spend it, you're allowed to spend it for other needs. But you are required to set it aside. You know, the enforcement really scared me because, not that I think that sometimes U.S. doesn't mean business, but we've seen this happen. I don't doubt that they are going to be enforcing it in this fashion. And it says that USD is prepared to take significant enforcement action. This wording is cut and paste from her letter. USD will be using data collected through the Title I monitoring, that is through Inspector General reports, from the Consolidated State Performance Report, and other sources to take enforcement action. Well, let me tell you that we do ask some questions on the consolidated, the Title I compliance report. We will be asking additional questions. We also utilize the information that you provide to CERC, and the information that you provide to us in the school improvement application. The action may include the following: placing conditions on your grant. SEAs will be required to take corrective action, and extra reporting. Extra reporting is a multitude of paperwork until the LEA meets its responsibilities in regard to school choice. I'm going to go quite quickly. I'm running out of time. It's in your handout. We always are scared to withhold funds. She's not scared to say that they will. They could withhold part of our administrative funds and your administrative funds. They could ask us to go into a compliance agreement. In most cases, there could be conditions placed on us for receiving funding. She was kind enough to give us this year to get our little duckies in order. And so this is a good start. We're here together to ensure that significant improvements are going to take place in the implementation. We're being asked to closely monitor. We're to provide LEAs with significant resources and technical assistance provide. I feel that we're very strong in this area. This is a great beginning. This is something we did not have in place last year. When you work with the School Improvement Resource Center, there is not a thing, there is not an obstacle that they cannot help you overcome. I think every day I'm in contact with somebody at the Resource Center. We meet with them monthly. They are an enormous asset to help you improve your campus. You just have to take the responsibility and ensure that you contact them and use what they have for you. And now we're in partnership with CEDO, which is another area that is available to you for assistance. And let's not forget the statewide Title I initiative that can assist you with Title I campuses and parent involvement issues. So if you get an email from Terry Stafford or Margaret Barnes, Skip Forsythe, please pay attention to that. That's an additional assistance for you. We're to provide complete and accurate responses when reporting to USDE, so please do not be offended that in your application you provided me a number and it doesn't really seem to correspond to what we're thinking you should provide. We might call you and question you on that because we need to provide accurate information. And we are to continue implementing high-quality evaluations of SES providers, and that's being taken care of. Okay, really quick, how much do I have? I want to touch on school choice. And I'm going to go quickly. I did it on a Q&A format, which I think sometimes helps in these, when I'm in a hurry. First of all, I want you to know that all campuses that receive Title I funds, whether school-wide or target assistance and becoming school improvement, need to offer school choice. It's not applicable to open enrollment charter school. They are by design a school of choice. So which students are eligible to change campuses under school choice provision? All students. I'm not going to read this to you. It's all students in a targeted assistance. All students. School-wide, all students are eligible for school choice. Is there a priority for students to be allowed to transfer under school choice option? We have to really make clear. All students have the opportunity, must be given the opportunity. The priority comes in where you offer, let's say, 3 schools, and then almost all students want to go to this school, then the priority comes in the lowest achieving low-income students get first choice. But everybody has to be treated. In fact, in guidance, it says that you're to treat these students that have the opportunity for choice as if the family had moved into your attendance area. If you have a family with 5 children move into your attendance area, go into to register their children, you can't say, well, excuse me, we don't have room, you have to go to another school. Okay, school choice children are not to be treated any different. I heard the stories about, do we have to build portables, do we have to bring in portables, do we have to hire teachers? Nothing that we have ever sent to USDE is allowed to intervene into the opportunity that they do not have school choice. All students have school choice. In other words, I don't know how to say it any different, but it becomes a district problem to deal with. How long must the school district continue to offer students the option to attend another public school? As long as it is school improvement or corrective action. How long must students who change campuses be allowed? Corey alluded to this. As long as they can stay in there until they reach the highest level at that campus. However, once you exit school improvement, you do not have to pay for their transportation. All of this is in the guidance, if I'm speaking too fast. What if providing the option to transfer to another campus is not possible? Okay, we do understand rural, we understand where you only have one campus. Let's say it's a K through 5 and you don't have another K through 5. We understand that. So in those cases, you are to try to extent practical, enter into a cooperative agreement with another school district. In 1 second, I'm going to try to say it. Who defines to the extent practical? The district does. Now, it has to be auditable documentation why it was not practical, because students had to get on a bus at 5 in the morning. You decide if that's practical. But you have to have auditable documentation. Then when you enter into an agreement, and let's say you can't find a surrounding district that would like to take your students, well, you document that you asked these districts and they weren't open to suggestions of taking your students. However, let me just say real quickly, if a district agrees to take some students, we've had some issues out there. No, that district cannot select which students they take. They're not going to take your honor roll of valedictorian. They're not taking you quarterback. You decide, and if they only take less than everybody that can go, lowest achieving, low-income students go first. Okay? If you have any questions on this, contact us. Okay, I already said that. Okay, really quick, parent notification letter. It has to contain all this information. I just wanted to touch a little bit, on the contact information. Who are they going to contact if they have questions, like Corey was saying? Because I have another contact information in a minute. Authorized signature, what the status means, how your campus compares. So Villarreal Elementary did not meet AYP. I'm stage 1 for math. That's a good sentence, except what does that mean? You have to tell me a percentage, and you have to tell me how does that compare to Solis Elementary down the street? Because I don't have any idea what are you talking about. As a parent, what is the comparison there? The reasons why you're on AYP, an explanation of what you're doing to address the problem of low income. And usually I spend a few minutes on these, but I can't right now. An explanation of what you're going to do to help the campus address the achievement problem. What are you going to do about this? An explanation of how the parents can become involved in addressing the academic issues that cause the campus to be identified. I want to key in on that, please. I was a teacher. I was grateful when teachers came in, did my lamination, helped me in the VIP room. Anything that they can help, I appreciate. All of that. This is from statute. It says become involved in addressing the academic issues that cause the campus to be identified. You have to tell us. We have to see it in that notification. An explanation of the parent's option to transfer to another public school. Contact information is different for school choice. I do have several districts who, if parents want to transfer, that's handled at the district level. So if they're going to have to contact somebody else, because I have issues where some parents will say, well, I called the principal's office and I told them I wanted to transfer. And then that office will say, but we told them we don't handle it, the district office does. Then you need to offer them that contact information, please. The timeline regarding school choice, you have a 30-day window to give parents. Now, this is a change. In the first statute, it said that you're to notify parents at the beginning of the year, and then any new students that come in. Second guidance comes and it says, well, maybe it'd be a good idea beginning of the year and the second semester. This guidance, multiple times. So you are to offer it multiple times. It's not here. You're to provide campus names for school choice, if applicable. I talked about the money. I talked about what needs to be done, and then the resources. We do have staff contacts at our agents, at our division. Your regional staff contacts are listed on the website. If you have questions regarding the application, you can call them. We're hoping that everybody in here subscribes to the Monday email. That gives you current information. We send it out every Monday. You need to subscribe to the Monday email, please. We are also going to start a listserv, a distribution list, only for the people that are listed on the application as a contact. So we can send current SIP information to them. You have our website, and also on that website is the policy guidance. This came from Secretary Spelling's Innovation Guides. I gave you the website at Toolkit under buildingchoices.org. Can't say enough. I could spend 30 minutes on the School Improvement Resource Center. These are experts. These are people that can help you. Please contact them. I'm sure they have contacted your district. And then you have our unit. And I want to tell you that real quickly, that this is how committed we are. We as an agency have a directive. We do not have to give our desk phones. We can give the main number. All of these are desk phones. We already know that you are in a difficult situation with a timeline. We don't expect you to be pushing buttons. This is a direct line to Jan and to Leticia and myself. If you happen to not have this, you can call our direct number, which I don't have it up here. It's 463-9374. Push 3, and it'll go to Jan. Okay? Okay, just one last thing. And that is that we have the directive from the AYP Performance Reporting Division not to respond to AYP questions, because we'll really confuse you. So if you have a question about how did they calculate this, or how do I, anything to do with the data, this is their number. It's performance reporting, 512-463-9704. 512-463-9704. If you call us and it's an AYP question, we could transfer you. And they have the directive not to answer any programmatic questions for school improvement, because we're here to help you with that.